Today on Our Wild Stories podcast, we have the pleasure of sitting down with Jen Temperley and Robin White of Fly Health and Wellness. Both are women who have raced Wildflower over the years and coach today. And so I've had the pleasure to get to know them quite well. But over the last few months, I've got to know them through their Nourish 360 program. In our podcast today, we'll talk about their journey, why women are at the heart of their work, and how simple attention, effort, and consistency can change everything. I also will share my personal experience in their program and how it helped me reset daily habits that my brain already knew, but my life needed to prioritize again. This simple conversation will take the noise out of all the health things that we're being told and brings it back to what truly matters. Healthy habits, real food, and putting yourself first. Because it is your time to thrive. Okay, well, today I have the pleasure of sitting down with two individuals that I've got to meet through Wildflower. I've often said that I have the opportunity of meeting incredible people through endurance sports and through our events. And these two are certainly by no exception of that. And so I am sitting down today with Jen and Robin that I met through the event, but have been able to stay in touch with and have been able to actually got to work more outside of just the event through another class that I got to take. And so we'll get to hear a little bit more about that. So I'd like to take this opportunity through our wild stories to be able to share with you a little bit about these two individuals and be able to share with you. I've always kind of believed that being a female race director, I've always wanted to have a sport and an event that lifted up and empowered women and was able to equalize opportunities for women in sports. And these two are really out there doing that by creating community with women. And so I'd like to feature them and what they're doing out there. So Jen and Robin, if you'd like to take this opportunity to introduce yourself and give a little bit of a background in what you've been doing in the sport and in kind of your health and your business.
Sure. Colleen, thanks so much for having us. We're really honored to be here. Jen, why don't you go first?
Yeah. So yeah, like Robin said, thank you for having us. We're super stoked to be here. We're huge fans of Wildflower. And I am Jen Temperley. So together, Robin and I make up Fly Health and Wellness. I went to college at University of San Diego, which is where we met. And I am a certified precision nutrition coach as well as a certified USAT level 1. I'm currently getting my level 2 coaching certification, strength coach, and also a specialization in perimenopause, menopausal active women. So expanding that and broadening that over the course of the history of like 30 plus years, just continuing to expand on that.
And to piggyback off Jen, yes, we met at University of San Diego, specifically on the swim team. And for over 35 years, we have been very, very close friends. So from there, I am now a national board certified health and wellness coach. I do have my plant-based nutrition coach certification through Cornell. And we also got a lot of nutrition coaching through being a national board certified health and wellness coach. Wildflower is one of my favorite triathlons of all time. I've been an endurance athlete for over 35 years. And because of its sense of community and authenticity, it to this day is one of my favorites.
And I'm now just out of you two. Yeah. So you two need to be able to brag about the fact that you have done how many triathlons between the two of you?
Oh, hundreds.
Okay. So no newbies to this sport.
At least we have some good stories from Wildflower from years back that, we probably won't be sharing this time, but it's fun to watch the sport grow over the years because we've certainly grown as well. But yeah, I think Robin and I both did our first triathlon in
1992 or
Like
something
the
in
Bud
San
Light
Diego.
series.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, we're dating ourselves when we say the Bud Light series, but yeah, long time ago.
Yeah. History continues.
Yes, and Jen, you were about to share something.
Oh, no, I was just, talking about Wildflower and how stoked I was it came back in 2018 to do it again because everyone kept talking, and then 2019 and COVID hit, and then participated again last year. So it's really eye-opening, interesting, all the things to watch it evolve over the years as well.
Yes, and you actually are one of our Wildflower ambassadors, and you were one of the ones that I reached out to as soon as we decided to come back because I had got emails from you over the years, like, "When are you coming back? When are you gonna do this? I'm on board. When are you gonna do this?" And so as soon as we decided to come back, I said, "I need you as an ambassador," and you said, "I will rally the troops," and sure enough, you rallied the troops last year, so been a big part of that sense of community that was coming back. Now, with that, I know that you guys were both college swimmers, D1 swimmers going through things. And, after that, you guys decided to start Fly Nutrition. And so tell us a little bit about what just made you decide to start the business and kind of that evolution of going through college sports, going into endurance sports, and then moving into starting the business. And why Fly?
Mhm. So as Jen referred to, so we both did triathlons for so long, starting in college. And even after college, we both continued racing. Absolutely loved it. Like we both work, but we love to race. Then we both became USAT level 1 coaches. Jen, as she said, is going on to get her level 2. We lived these parallel paths for so long of racing and working and building our kind of our portfolio of education in nutrition and everything related to fitness and health. So it was just a natural progression that at some point we decided, why don't we pool our resources and join forces and create a coaching company where we have this amazing coaching umbrella where we both, feed out of. And so we did that over 5 years ago. We've always had the same values and the same beliefs, and that keeps us united. Um, Jen, she can tell you that she's kind of like really focused on strength recovery, nutrition, menopause. I've kind of gone from triathlon endurance coaching into this more whole health, which includes nutrition, but is a little bit more of building a health portfolio that not only touches on physical health, but mental and emotional health. And so together, we coach women. We just saw a need out there for not only to coach women for, their workouts and their nutrition, but it became more of a whole health journey. And so how we came up with the name Fly, I'm going to let Jen run with that one. Mm.
There was a lot of, like anyone starting their own business, right? A lot of back and forth about, okay, we wanted it beyond our names and we wanted it to mean something. Uh, and, we wanted to take that, okay, what do we believe in? What are our core values? And something simple, something that's not taken, something that kind of roll off, and Fly can be used in so many ways, back to like swimming, butterfly, the sport itself. So taking kind of that active way, and then a butterfly, learning to spread its wings and grow and fly off. And we nurture our clients in that way, where we want to educate them, empower them to spread their wings and fly. We hear that quote quite a lot, but so it kept coming back to us, like. I think we were like dragonfly for a little bit, and then we were, just looking at all the different words, and that one just kept kind of reappearing week after week, and till it
We
really
had like
stuck.
all these vision boards and we had all this stuff going on. One day, Jen just goes, why don't we just use the word fly? And it was like, that's it. I mean, it was after like weeks of trying to figure it out. And it just, that with the logo of the wings pointing upwards, um, again, really embodies the upward progress, spreading your wings, And a lot of this dragonfly, butterfly, there's an evolution there with a caterpillar to a butterfly, and getting to the point where you can spread your wings and fly. That was a big part of why we landed on that.
Yeah, knowing the 2 of you, what you do, it's so relatable because you you talk about just what you believe in your own journeys and stuff like that. So talk about how your journeys has actually been a great impact into why you guys do what you do. I think that a lot of the times your guys' personal health journeys and personal health challenges because
Yeah.
what your vision of endurance in college is probably way different to what your vision of endurance at age 40 and age 50 is. So, can you share a little bit about that and how that's evolved in your business and your role because you guys work with all ages of people, but what do you think that and how that brings to your expertise now?
Uh, uh, yeah,
Go
I'll
ahead.
go. Like our you kind of nailed it, Colleen. Like our experiences helped us grow as not only humans and athletes, but also as coaches, right? So a lot of our experiences applied as we coach beyond the education. I think that's really important. Is the things we have gone through, have experienced our entire life. I had a pituitary. I have a pituitary tumor that was diagnosed a really long time ago, and um, you just go to the doctor and believe everything and just straight in. And now um, it's different in the way I listen to my body and how I react to it and how I visit doctors. And I think we want to empower women to do the same. 10 years ago, I had like a terrible, like, fatigue and, I believe I was underfueled at the time, which kind of sounds crazy because I thought I was, like, doing everything, right. Adrenal issues, like, kind of all the things that just took me down to the core of, exhaustion and not able to do those things that I loved, and that halted me and made me, realize this whole idea. Robin mentioned it earlier, deep health, like, there's more than just, like, that go, go, go. And, like we said, we were endurance athletes. Like that was the thing, like go, go, go on at the expense of many other things. And so, now I look at it and what what that process was of going through all these different things, and how I kind of, like some people might do, is tuck it under, right? Ignore it. Oh, I'm fine. I think I'll be okay. Oh, I just need some extra sleep, or oh, just need a couple days off work, something like that. And that just wasn't hitting. So um, I look at the way I handle my health much differently. I feel like I coach much differently because there is more to talk about than just one thing. Like Rob and I would both agree, we do not prescribe workouts or prescribe, meal plans or anything like that. We really want to give women this idea that, okay, let's think about the question I always ask myself, well, will this compromise my long-term health? Because I'm a huge now believer, like, let's make this sustainable. Let's think about long-term health. And if the answer is yes, then that needs to be twisted around.
Yeah, and for me, I have 3, s pretty severe autoimmune conditions, and they kinda started in college. So I had to really be my biggest advocate for myself, early on. I really had to be an investigator and try to figure out the different, symptoms I was having, and what was really going on in my body. And frankly, now 35 years later, I'm just figuring out one of them. That's how long it's taken me to figure out one of the autoimmune conditions. And my mom struggled with depression. My mom was an alcoholic. And so I made a decision early on that I was going to live a healthy life, that no matter what, my health was going to take priority. And like Jen said, your knowledge and education and experience evolves over time. That has all helped us be the coaches that we are today. Um, But one of the biggest common threads with our coaching is that the client is the expert at their life, and we're the expert at coaching. And we help ad- advocate for women to actually advocate for themselves, to be proactive in their health, to pay attention to symptoms, to not settle for an answer if they're still not feeling good. And so I think it's a lot of my health journey. Um, a lot of the autoimmune conditions, I had to tweak my nutrition. I had to eliminate things. I had to try different medications. And it's really kind of kept me on the forefront of always having my health be my number one priority.
Very much so. And I think this is exactly where our paths cross for a second time. And when we have Wildflower in common. And I ended up calling Jen after deciding if I was going to do Wildflower for a second year. And my husband came to me and said, "You can do this event again if you get your health back under control." And I have an autoimmune disease, and it was one of those ones that you can't compromise it again. And I knew that um, like many women, that I needed to put my health as a priority, and I knew that I would needed to listen to my body, and I knew your guys' story. I had heard it through various things that you guys had shared through our relationship over the past year, and listening to what Jen had done through some various things. And so we started chatting, and she started telling me a little bit about you guys and what you were doing. And so we ended up talking about your guys' class, your Nourish 360 class. And so we talked about the fact that that class is that it's health based, and then that is its first priority. So talk a little bit and share with others now, because it's one of the things I want to do. As I said, I want to go through this whole class and then share with others the premise behind it, because in a day and age when diet is at the forefront of so many people's minds, and in endurance sports when health is at the forefront of so many minds, how have we repositioned, and how is this class, and we'll talk about a little bit of the process through this, but talk about the premise of the Nourish 360 and what your guys' principles are, and the fact that the three key elements of that, with attention, effort, and consistency. Talk about the whole process in that class and what you guys are looking to accomplish through it.
Okay, I'll explain why we developed it and kind of what the premise is, and then I'll let Jen, kind of talk about those three components. Um, our programs, well, we developed Nurse 360 specifically because we knew we could reach more women who couldn't necessarily afford or have time for one-on-one coaching. We knew that we had something different. And what is that? Nurse 360 is a nutrition education program, and it is meant to provide a framework for women to ditch the diet mentality and actually start trusting themselves, start trusting what their body needs and wants. And I mean, we all know it's like the Wild West out there when it comes to diets and fads and supplements and health programs and offerings. And we're just inundated. And so this program really brings people back to building a foundation through the education program part, and then increases the self-awareness. And then through the 12 weeks, um, we hope that they come away with some takeaways to then implement in their real life. Um, there's the three components that really are the root of our program, uh, which I'll let Jen cover.
Yeah, so attention, effort, and consistency, and I'll also add to that. There's the um, we have women that come to this class from all walks of life, professional women, stay-at-home moms, working moms, active women that are just juggling a lot of things. But this is where we come to these three components. They they want to pay attention to their health and their habits, and when they do that, they are successful. That's what we find. These are the three components through. This is our we're going into our sixth time launching this module. Um, when they put in the effort, when they show up daily, weekly to just these little habits that we give, we have a framework that's built over the course of 12 weeks. And every week it's like looking back and then adding a little bit to it. And it can be anything from 5 minutes to maybe someone wants to spend, a little bit longer time. Maybe, we start with the environment because that's such a big piece of it. And then that goes on, to other aspects of their life. But when they pay attention, when they put forth the effort and actually focus and show up to class, and then they are consistent in doing these little things that eventually and evolve and make the big things happen. And those habits stack up over the course of 12 weeks. The idea being, okay, at the end of 12 weeks, spread your wings, fly, you've got this, and you can continue, to look back on it if you slip a little bit. But we want to and it's been proven a lot of these women are successful later on. They're still, texting us or reaching out like, oh my god, I'm still doing that, or oh, 2 years ago this has been amazing. So that's the idea that we want to have too. We want them to be able to do these things on their own.
And
Well, and you
so
brought up a
many
good point that it's people from all walks of life, because we just finished the class. And so give us an example of, just go through the women that we had in the class. There was
Mm,
various groups of people. There was a mom with four children. There was,
mhm.
all, so go through that, who we had in the class.
Yeah, so we had a stay-at-home mom with 4 little kids, like 9 and under. We had a full-time working, physician's assistant, and they're all in different states too. We had
Mhm.
a full-time professional who works, in, gosh, I forgot her line of work, but she works in other countries to provide support to underprivileged people. We had a full-time realtor. Her kids are grown and gone. Um, the common thread was that they all were tired of whatever they were doing not working, and they were all wanting to just feel better and do it better. And the cool thing about this program is it's not just, "Here's a program, you're on your own." We pride ourselves on those weekly live coaching sessions where you all come together, and I had a mom today say, "The best part of that program was logging on and knowing that I wasn't alone and that I could learn something from these women."
Well, and I think that's what was fun. Like, what I enjoyed, a lot of the stuff I knew in my mind. Like, I've been living this lifestyle for so long and stuff,
Mhm.
but I think just forcing myself to stop and get those habits and build those habits, strip everything back, build those habits from the start, and have the women that were there from week to week to week and be working on that together was a
Mhm.
great process. And I think getting the recipes, so in this process, you sent something home so that we logged on and we had the reading part that we did. Then there was recipes that were sent out, and then there was videos that we watched, and then there was an online community group that we had. So there was a little bit of everything, whether you wanted to read, whether you wanted to watch a video, or whether you wanted to have that online community. It was built to where you could do a little bit of each thing.
Yeah, and it was Jen and I built the program in a very methodical way. The weeks are built in that order for a reason. Um, Again, one habit stacking upon another, and by the end, you're gonna have 12 habits to walk away with. We really wanted it to be a blend of learning, listening, reading, and actually doing. So each week had specific action steps. So we really worked hard on trying to not only recommend some things to do, but actually have you implement them every week. And we hope that we don't overload our clients every week. And we tried to make it simple so that it was manageable and doable from week to week. We also allow the participants to have access to the program about 2 months after the program is actually finished, to allow to go back and review, watch modules they didn't get to. Anything that we did on a weekly basis, we recorded, so it allows people to have missed a Zoom or two and still not feel like they missed the program. So You actually get access to us via a chat, which again, we pride ourselves on that personal coaching touch that we put even on our online programs.
Yeah, and we had fun with it as well. I can remember sending, pictures. You guys had one of the first things was cleaning out the kitchen and going
Mhm.
through things, and I can remember going in and seeing somebody posting a picture of cleaning out their pantry, and there was all of these jars of flour and stuff like that that had, like, expiration dates, 3 or 4 years old, like, "Should I throw these out?"
Yeah.
So, I think we all had fun with it as well, and then you guys were even posting like, "Oh, yeah, I think I need to clean my kitchen out as well."
Yeah, it's not a one-time deal, right? It's and that goes back to the consistency part, and, we do love the before and after shots.
Mm.
Yeah, we definitely had fun with those, and, I love it that you guys, even during this class, help with every lifestyle, even with the plant-based stuff, like, you guys said, "Here is the options for plant-based," and you gave us, some great plant-based cookbooks, and you said, "But here's if you want to add in the proteins, these plant-based cookbooks are great, and just add a protein on top of it," and that was great because I ended up giving those cookbooks out at a Christmas party, and everybody's like, "This is a great idea. These recipes are great if I just add chicken to it." And so you can allow people to live whatever lifestyle they have. You teach all options of that, and I thought that was a great option of it.
Thank you for that, Colleen, because again, we don't endorse any particular eating style. What we endorse is for you to pick an eating style that works for you.
Yeah, and I thought that was great, and we got to laugh about and talk about a lot about, portion sizes in the US, and you guys do talk about and go into detail about plate sizes and, building a healthy plate and understanding that you don't have to cut all of those things out and deprive yourself, and, this isn't about cutting all those things, it's maybe just about crowding certain things out and making smarter choices, and then feeling better when you make those smarter choices.
You
So,
nailed it. That's a lot of what we talk about is crowding out the foods that don't serve you versus avoiding things or, if you add more nutrients, more vegetables, something like that, as you've learned over the course of this course, then people become more fulfilled, more satisfied. The plate sizes is interesting, right? Because Robin and I have an image of the different sizes over the years, and when you look at the American diet, it is crazy unhealthy. And so the plates get bigger, and we become more immune to all these portion sizes that we're getting, whether it's on the plate or whether it's at a restaurant. And so just looking at that and just thinking about that, again, bringing that awareness to people when they are out dining or when they are making their perfect plate at home, then they can then start thinking about that in their decisions.
yeah, definitely. I know that one couple had shared that they had went out to dinner on a date, and they had this great date, and they just decided to split the meal.
Mhm.
And they were able to go out to dinner, and then they parked their car further and went for a walk afterwards, and it was just little choices that you can do that you learned through this class that you guys had and people sharing those things, and I think that's the wonderful thing that you can have through having the community that you guys have through these meetups that you have on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and one of the things that I find fascinating in all of our cohorts is one of our modules is centered around emotional eating and connections that we make with food, and also habits that don't serve you anymore. So we're all raised with different habits of eating that happened in our households. Specifically as it relates to portions, if you were raised that you had to clean your plate or that you were served and had to finish it, you didn't get to pick what was on your plate. So anything from like that, from those rules and beliefs that are instilled in us as it relates to our eating habits, this program allows you to kind of pause and decide if those how you eat, whether you split meals at a restaurant, clean your plate, go for seconds, choose your plate size. Those are all things that you can decide whether you want to keep doing or let go and create new habits.
Yeah, you gave a new definition to emotional eating. When we were getting ready to do that module on emotional eating, I don't tend to be a very emotional person, so I was like, "Oh, great, an emotional module. I don't really wanna go through this." But I was like, "Oh, that's very interesting." And I actually got a lot out of that one, just kind of realizing that you have those things that you were brought up with that happen to be in the back of your mind about those different things. And so it was a very interesting module to go through. Now, talking about modules, you guys came up with a bonus module through this session that we recently did, and that was a travel module. So talk to us a little bit about why you guys decided to do that one and what came out of that, because you've recently released it and it's open to the public now to be able to purchase that travel module.
It
Yeah, so
did.
yeah. Go ahead, Robin.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'll
No, I
chat.
was just gonna say we've got, it's, we can give Wildflower listeners a special code when this comes out. But travel kept coming up over and over with our cohorts and our individual clients as, but now what do I do? Now I'm like comfortable. I feel really good at home. I feel good, in my little bubble. When I'm nervous about it, or how do I just stay healthy? And so we wanted to create something short, smaller, that would be impactful for these people as they travel. This is perfect timing because it's holidays, but travel, travel happens all the time, and especially we have had people in our cohorts that travel for business every week. So it's allowing them to solve the problem of what they experience when they travel and the frustration, and easing back into, oh wow, I can really do this, like it's not super stressful, or I don't have to go, I'm just going to start over when I get back. Travel's travel and it's a separate thing. We want them to feel like travel's just a part of their life. They're going through, and just like Monday, same as Saturday, same as Friday. So just having that mental build that they're thinking about for the future.
Yeah, and
Yes, because you 2
triathlete
know, because you travel, you're both. We both, yeah.
yeah, and,
Yeah.
I mean, triathletes nowadays do a ton of travel, but as we talk about in the module, not all trips are created equal. Every trip might be different and have a different purpose. And so this module is specifically designed to help you when your routine disappears, and to really take a look at, what do I want out of this trip? What do I want this trip to look like as it relates to my habits? What do I want to keep and let go of? Um, and it's our first mini module on demand. Jen and I are super excited about it. We're hoping to release a lot more mini modules in 2026. And yeah, you can just sign up for them on our website. As Jen said, the for Wildflower athletes and people who listen to this podcast, they can get it at 50% off with the code of travel50, all lowercase letters, and get it for 50% off. We're offering that just through the end of the year, as it's a new offering for us.
Yeah, I was real excited to get that one, and I think that it's gonna be very valuable for people who are traveling, because it's nowadays we're triathlon as well as all endurance events, but also just people in general. It's something that's very challenging when you go, because so many times we do travel and you're on vacation, and you're just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna give it up." And then when you get home, you feel awful. And so it's like, but nowadays I think it's so easy to go and travel and feel good when you're traveling. And you can do all the things. It's so easy to be healthy when you travel, to eat healthy when you travel, to work out when you travel, because those opportunities are there for you now. So now, let's move a little bit on to community, because I do think that
Mhm.
what you guys do and all of your coaching is so community based. And you guys do have such a sense of community about everything you do, not only in your business, but just both of you personally tend to be very much people who like to surround yourselves with community and stuff like that. So, talk about not only in your business, but you're involved with the Betty community and other things. Um, and also you did your challenge with for Thanksgiving. You had a little challenge on your website. There was another one that was leading into Christmas. Talk about those two challenges, and they were great successes that I've seen, and how many people you guys had with those, and then the other things that you guys are involved with communities.
Go for it, Jen.
Okay. Well, I'll start from where you just finished is Planksgiving, our annual Planksgiving. This is the 5th year of doing the Planksgiving during the month of November, and it's blown up. I think every year we add at least, 25-30% of our number. So that's been super exciting, and that leads up till Thanksgiving, and then we give them a little bit of time off, and we find that people are like, okay, what's next? Yeah, what's next? Like, I did this, I don't want to fall off. So we created Advent calendar, which is going on the month of December until Christmas. So just creating a little bit of, I would say, like discipline structure to people's very busy lives. Those 2 months can be very busy times in people's lives. So just letting them know, like, okay, hey, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes here, what can make you check the box, feel good. It's okay. It doesn't have to be an hour, and just kind of providing a little bit of a framework and a challenge to keep it fun for that. So that was super exciting. It's fun to have the community grow and see each other on socials, and people get their family and office and all that. So that's been really fun to be a part of.
What's the January challenge? Is there a sneak
I
peek
know.
into that?
I mean, honestly, Colleen, a couple years ago, I did like January would be arm workouts. I think February was leg workouts. In the summer, I used to do, because I live in Phoenix, for every day that was 100 degrees, I would do 100 reps of some exercise, and then people would follow along. So we don't, we really landed Planksgiving and Advent have been our biggest, strongest community, and that's the one we do. But it's more to just bring fun to movement too.
Yeah.
I'll be at the grocery store and someone will say, I did my planks today. And so, I mean, you're just making a difference in the community and just getting people excited about doing small things. Um, Jen is based in Manhattan Beach. She's well known in her community. She has an incredible reputation. She lives and breathes health and triathlon. And I live in Phoenix. I split my time between Phoenix and Bousman. And I think we've both done a really good job of um we're not perfect. We have areas of our life that need improvement and have been broken. But we do emulate what we coach. And so we've done a good job of building a healthy community in our respective cities. The military is a huge part of my life and where I give back into my community. And so when I have time to give back, mine is through military organizations. I know Jen has, her different ways that she gives back. But I think that we both, one of our core beliefs is to serve others and give back to communities that we've been a part of.
Yeah, and I think everyone would probably agree that community, because we work virtually, we do our one-on-one coaching. A lot of it is online. Some of it, if we are if we have the local clients, we can do things in person. But a lot of our work is virtual. A lot of the women we work with work virtually, in their own lives, and so the community was really important. Back to Nurse 360, bringing in like the chats and the weekly Zooms. Um, and I just think, we need that intentional connection amongst each other, women. And, you mentioned Betty Squad. Fly's stoked to be a sponsor of Betty Squad this year, Betty Designs. And, we're going to bring that health from a health span, longevity, this whole idea of deep health and sustainable health. And, I've been a part of the Betty Squad since the beginning. It's been 13 years, which is kind of crazy. 'Cause my daughter was like, my kids were little at the time.
Yeah.
But it started very differently, and then it's by year two, by year three, now we're like we're we're weddings, we're involved in kids' babies, we're at hospitals caring for people. Like if something happens, like we've become more of a family just around that community, and it's been really exciting to be a part of because it just goes beyond racing. And, I think that goes into Robin and I's coaching too, because we coach beyond the finish line. We coach, it's bigger than that. It's such a big picture versus, just a smaller view of it. So that's what's helped us expand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
the
so much of what you guys do is about empowering women, and I think that that sense of community around women and your little niche with kind of the 40 plus has been something I think so many times at that age we start realizing that our everything changes and our bodies change, our minds change and stuff like that and we have to start listening to our bodies and our minds and going, okay, we have to do things a little bit differently and do things smarter and do things we have to allow our bodies to recover. And it's okay to listen to that and start learning to do things and to advocate for ourselves. And I think you guys are really good at voicing what all of us have been wondering about and and I think that's what attracted me a lot to your guys' website, looking at it going, "Oh, those are the things I've been thinking about," and there's just not a lot out there to find out about that stuff.
yeah, and that's where that community really comes into play is when more women are talking about what they're going through, whether it's a menopause thing, perimenopause thing, or just a season of change, empty nesting, going from stay-at-home mom to professional or vice versa, or any change that a woman is going through when there is a sense of community, or Jen and I can provide coaching to coach women through that. Women don't feel like they're alone and they don't feel necessarily afraid to talk about it. So we provide a safe space for women to feel like they're worth something and that they're not alone. And that's where our coaching and community really come into play.
Yeah, now I think that as we're kind of closing out some of the things that we're talking about here, we wouldn't be at an end to things without talking about our wild stories and some of
Mhm.
the wild stories that you guys have had at Wildflower itself and your experiences over the years and stuff. So, what do you think that your experiences at Wildflower have been that have made it unique and have made it something that's been so memorable? I mean, we've talked about community and stuff, but what are some of those things that you guys remember most? I know, Jen, you guys had a huge Betty Squad group that came last year that many people even flew across the US to come in and be a part of it. So tell us a little bit of your wild stories over the years. And I mean, when I heard Bud Light, I was really like, oh, those are some memories over the years.
There's probably some 10 stories. Last year was pretty epic. I mean, we probably had 30 to 40 people, and I don't know many other race. I don't know any actually that you are doing a race, you're doing a sport you love, and you're kind of a captive audience. You're I mean, you're not locked in a campsite, but everyone's around, right? So you wake up and it's like everyone's stretching, people are going to brush their teeth. Like it's a campsite. It's
Mhm.
people have their RVs, they have their fancy glamping, but they are at the core root, like just everyone's together. And you just meet so many people walking around. I think finishing, I remember, this was probably like 5 years ago, but finishing the race, and then it was like, over here, they're announcing, like, stand-up paddleboard, and then over here, they're announcing, the trail run is going on and and it was just the food trucks, and, so people are just celebrating everywhere about everything. It's not so uh I don't know, one sport focused, or this is all like just this one race and that's it. It's like more of it's an experience and it's a festival, and that really shows in what you've done in over the years creating it. So it's yeah, there was a lot of the girls were just talking about it yesterday, actually, and they're just like, "Oh my god, it's the best thing," and they weren't sure because it is, it can be a lot of travel, it can be logistics, and then it just when you make it happen, then, they can anything can go on that weekend, and, what happens at Wildflower stays at Wildflower, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it
It has
carries
to
it.
stay at Wildflower because there's no Wi-Fi or phones to call out. So
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Which we love. I love that too. That is actually a bonus.
Yeah, it carries its own vibe. It carries its own, and it clearly keeps drawing people back. There was clearly enough desire to bring it back. I'm gonna date myself again and tell you that I did it in 1998. And I just remember it being such an epic experience. I had done a lot of triathlons at that point. And I do just remember that hill that at the end, I'll never forget it. But the people, the cheering, the water stations, I mean, the volunteers, um
The
it's
Cal
just like no
Poly
other.
kids.
Yeah.
Yes, the Cal Poly kids, and they were back last year, and they were in full force. I'll tell you, they were so excited.
They
They
were,
were so
and
much
it's
fun.
really fun. It's kind of like you're in a I don't know, it's like age doesn't matter, events d like, place doesn't matter, and it's I think that's really special because it just brings you back to, like, the core message of sport and, why people got involved in it in the first place, which is one of the reasons Robin and I got involved in it, right? Just we just enjoy moving our bodies, we enjoy the competition, and, we were swimmers and, didn't know what to do next, but, yeah, it's a good one.
Well, and one race is not enough for you. You don't do just one race that weekend, do you?
Oh, Colleen. I'm a captive audience, you give me a space, you give me some races, and, yeah, last year I did the long course first on Saturday, and then I did the Olympic on Sunday, so, it is you're like, "Okay, I'm not necessarily in a, most comfortable sleeping environment," and it was super fun. It's like, avoid the excuses and just go, like, wake up, see how the body feels, and go for it. You never know. You never know what your body can do for you.
Well, and that's what I want to encourage people about. Like it's possible you can do the race on Saturday, you can do a race on Sunday, you can do a long course one day and an Olympic to do the Wildflower Squared, but you can also do a trail run one day and a sprint the next day. You can do an open water swim one day. You can do so we have 8 races throughout the whole weekend and you can do a little bit of everything. So that's what was fun last year is seeing people that were doing all different types of races throughout the weekend and hearing that people were on the same courses, like hearing somebody that was not even not even a triathlete, but they were a runner and they could go out there and do the trail run and sit next to somebody that was a triathlete that did the long course and they could share in those memories of being out in Long Valley together and having the same experience because they were on the same course
I
or
love
being
that.
on the gravel, doing the gravel race and they were on the sprint race, but because the gravel was on the long course run, they were on the same course in the day. So
Yeah.
that was really fun to listen to
Yeah.
people talk about that.
We had, like,
Yeah.
a whole spreadsheet going where we were, like, running, "Let's go see, okay, this person should be finished. Okay, let's go over here, let's go over here, let's do this," and, it was great. We had a potluck that night, where everyone just brought some food and snacks and all the things, and we grilled out, so you can really make it a big party.
Yeah, the amount of clubs that do potlucks, I think that people need to realize the fact that you can do the RVs, you can get them delivered, you can do a potluck, and it's really not that hard.
Not that hard.
So, well, I wanna thank both of you guys for coming on. Again, talk about how people can find out about Fly Nutrition. What's your guys' website? How can they can reach you and find out more about your guys' company?
So you can follow us on social at Fly Health Wellness. Our website is www.flyhealthwellness.com. And you can sign up for our programs. You can sign up for our newsletter. Our newsletter is free, comes out every month. And that is one of the best ways to know what we're offering, what's coming up this year. So you'll hear about when the nutrition Nourish 360 is coming, when Jen's other program, Lean Into Life, is coming. We're going to be offering more mini modules and hopefully doing our first retreat in 2026. So through website, social, newsletter, those are going to be your 3 main channels.
And we'll have all of that information in the description here, so you can go ahead and see it down below as well once this is published and find out all about them. But we want to thank both of you guys for your time today. I'm really excited to be letting everybody know about you guys and your program. And I'm just so thankful that you guys are friends of ours and I got an opportunity opportunity to go through this program and get to know each of you guys a little bit more. And thankful that I have women like you guys in my life and a part of Wildflower, and excited that other people can get to know you guys a little bit more as well. So thank you for your time and everything that you're offering today.
Thanks for having us, Colleen. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks to you and your staff. It's we really enjoyed it.